All right, so we start out tough one-run loss or tough two-run loss on Friday. Tough two-run loss on Friday. What did it mean to come out on Saturday with a doubleheader and sweep that?
Yeah, it was great. We kind of battled on Friday night. Did a good job to bring the tying run on the plate, which is kind of always what you're hoping to do. And we actually ended up with the tying run on second base. And it was a good baseball game on Friday. And we sort of knew at that point, every weekend's playoff baseball, really in the ACC. People are talking about this past weekend being must-win games, but it's playoff baseball for 10 straight weekends because you never know how this whole league is going to play out and what's going to happen. So, Saturday we knew it was going to be an important day for a lot of reasons, but to keep fighting and giving us a chance to be in the ACC tournament and then be in the NCAA tournament, we knew we had to kind of worry about Game 2 on Saturday, and having Justin throw for us always gives us a lot of confidence. So we're excited. We were excited about that.
Speaking about the ACC tournament specifically, NCAA a little more up in the air. But what does it mean coming down the stretch? Really, the first time you've been here, that it's really seemed like a likelihood that you can get into the tournament this year.
I think it's this conference is so good, right? And you look at there's almost everybody's pretty much still right in this mix, and everybody's fighting for their lives to try to get those last couple spots. I think there's 7 teams all within a game and a half of each other right now. So that's where you want to be every year, is put yourself in that mix to be fighting. And if you're in that mix, then it also means you're in the mix for the NCAA tournament. So it's where we want to be every year, is being the postseason and making runs deep in the NCAA tournament. And the ACC tournament is the first step in that.
Justin Dunn, specifically on Saturday, longest outing, his season, 7 innings. Did you like what you saw in him extending out, continuing to lengthen his starts?
Yeah, it was great. He went one more batter really than I would have liked. He was exhausted. There was 2 outs in the inning. We liked the matchup. So he threw about 6 or 7 more pitches than I probably would have ideally liked. But, I think if I'd tried to go out and take him out at that point with 2 outs in the inning, I think he probably would have fought me. So he's throwing the ball great. He's doing a great job extending and working really hard on his recovery. And we also knew that this week, with only 2 games against Niagara, it was going to be a short week. So they're going to have a bunch of rest. He and Mike, both threw a little bit more, a couple more pitches than we would have liked. And but like I said, they're both going to be on about a 45 pitch count this weekend. So we knew we had a pretty good rest coming out. And Justin, he responded, by punching out that last kid. So it was good to also see him kind of dig down and know that he could extend a little bit. And what he's been doing as a starter is not surprising to us by any means. It's always what we believed he could do.
King didn't look like he had all of his best stuff, gave up 10 hits on Saturday. What did it mean for him to kind of keep grinding through and get almost through 8 innings for you?
Yeah, for the first 3 innings, it wasn't even that he didn't have his best stuff. He didn't have much of anything for the first 3 innings. It was, and most kids go away at that point when you come out, and he had no fastball command, didn't have much feel for any of his off-speed stuff. And for him to, after that, kind of look and be like, hey, I got this, really, in a lot of ways, with our season on the line at that point. That's one of the best outings I think I've ever seen for a kid to do that for the first couple innings and then settle in, and get us 5 more like he did, or I guess it was 4 more after that, 4 zeros in a row like that. And I think it was the 5th and the 6th. It was 7-pitch and an 8-pitch inning. That was unbelievable, and it's why this team loves that kid so much, and why we love giving him the ball, because he could have packed it in after that 3rd inning. He gave up 1 in the first, and Mike Strum makes a great play to throw a kid out at the plate, and then we get out of the 3rd with only 2, and like I said, a lot of times kids are going to pack in at that point, and Mike's so competitive, and he just kind of looked at all of us and said, I got this, go get some runs, boys, and the lineup did a great job.
So, of course, the big event on Saturday, retiring Pete Frates number. So could you talk about what that meant to you and what you think it meant to him to have that event on Saturday?
Yeah, I think what it meant to us as a program, uh, these boys love Pete so much. The boys that are here now, the boys that have been here the past couple of years when he was traveling with us, and all the guys that played with him, right? Pete's such an important part of Boston College baseball. So for us to be able to honor him like that meant a lot to the whole Birdball family. And I think you could probably talk to John and Nancy to get a better idea of what it meant for Pete. Because the first thing that Pete said to me when I texted him and told him that we were retiring his numbers was he called me a jerk. So, but what Pete has done for Boston College baseball, what Pete has done for Boston College as a university, and what Pete has done for the ALS community. All three of those groups that he's touched, and now they're so intertwined. I mean, right, the freight train and BC baseball are synonymous almost at this point. So it's just a small gesture from our program to let Pete know how much we love him and how much he means to us and how much he's done for us.
So coming up next week, you're going to have Georgia Tech. This week coming up with Niagara. So what's the mindset going into this week? Some non-conference games before the last stretch. So what's the mindset going in for you guys?
Yeah, the mindset is it's a good Northeast opponent. Niagara's a good baseball club, and it's going out there and playing one game on Saturday, really no different than we were thinking one game Friday against Wake Forest and one game next Thursday against Georgia Tech, right? It's don't worry about the opponent. Don't worry about the stakes. Don't worry about it. Just go play a really good baseball game now. Are we going to do some different things with the pitching? Yeah, we are. And but that doesn't change how we want to go about our business and the type of ball club that we want to be and how we want to play. So we look at it as just another baseball game, just like this past weekend was and just like next weekend was. Try to be the same team every time out and play hard, play smart, and have fun.
So do you have a plan going in of who's going to get the starts in those games?
Yeah, we're going to throw Bear, Justin, Michael on Saturday, 3 innings each. Get them tuned up for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we're going to pen it on Sunday. And then we're going to pen it again on Tuesday. And how that bullpen plays out, we'll kind of see a little bit. But we'll make sure everybody's getting their work and gets done what needs to get done to get ready for the weekend. Now, that's not saying these games aren't important. They're critically important. But we also believe we have the bullpen depth and guys that can get jobs done to help us win those games and be able to keep our starters ready for Georgia Tech.
My last question is just about the senior class. We'll honor them on Sunday. Can you just talk about the 7 seniors on this team?
Yeah, these boys, these boys came in to the program at a time, and we told them the recruiting process that basically when you're freshmen and sophomores, we're going to throw you out in the field and you're probably going to get beaten up a little bit, and you're going to take those lumps and you're going to learn and get better, and they've done an amazing job. And to see these guys grow and develop as people and into the young men that they are, and also on the baseball field. I've loved being around these boys for 4 years, and I've loved the fact that I have a small part in their growth and development. And they've also helped, and they won 12 and 40 their freshman year, and we all knew what we were going to do. We all knew it was going to be a tough year like that. I don't think they really understood how tough of a year it was going to be, but we did. And for them to keep working and fighting and growing and getting better and put this program first, and help get this team, which we believe is a postseason team. We hope it's going to be a postseason team this year. These guys have had an enormous hand in the growth and development of this program as well.